When I rehearse for class, I am in my basement.
I'm working from my loft here in downtown Las Vegas.
To have a little, 8 feet square.
I just use my living room.
I moved everything out. I was like, I need space to dance.
Every fall, the program in dance produces Princeton Dance Festival. It's our premier event, and it usually happens on the Berlin stage. This year, because of the restrictions brought on by the pandemic, we had to scrap all that and just trust our amazing artists on our faculty to get creative and reimagine what might be.
I had a plan and I had my set and everything, and I had this huge thing I wanted to make. I was overexcited because I knew exactly what I was going to make. And then, boom, everything changed and it's online, so there was no way I could do that plan.
I had to completely redesign the whole idea of what it means to do dancing in this time, since we aren't able to be in the same room with each other, and so much of dance and so much of this work in particular involves a transmission of bodily knowledge.
We are basically inviting people into the spaces of these artists' homes. It's thought-provoking, it's curious, it's playful.
There are ways to create really exciting imagery from the most simple blank wall or a lamp in your living room. There's so much that you can do if you just pay attention.
When we create art, these moments are actually moments that are rich for artists to create. And I thought, well, let's create a little time capsule so that the dancers remember this moment.
Merce Cunningham has this long and rich history of collaboration with visual artists, and I really wanted to bring an aspect of that into this project. Some of it is these animation experiments done by Tim's students, and some are the film and video experiments done by my students.
A major focus of my class is the study of motion. So I think this project gave students an opportunity to really look closely and kind of get inspired by the movement of Silas's students.
I love creating duets, and I love the touch, I love the contact, and we can't even hug anybody today. So I'll create different duets. There won't be touches, but there will be a connection.
I guess I didn't really expect to feel lonely during this time or this process.
I sense that the dancers are struggling now with being distanced and working on Zoom.
Something I think is different with being alone, like in a pandemic, in a creative process.
There's so much we could be exploring together in person that we just can't through this limitation of Zoom.
When you're in a process doing a long project from your home, it can sometimes feel like somewhat of a chore if you don't go about it the right way.
As mentors and creators and educators, we are, very sensitive and trying to take care of them now.
I really wanted it to be a kind of refuge from many things.
I'll start with a check-in. The check-in is extremely important to us. So we have a check-in, and then we talk about our day and what is happening to us, and we always focus in what is the good news of the day.
During these times, I have been finding, working on Zoom, that it's important to establish a sense of community, even though it is virtual.
The rehearsal process can in many ways feel like you're dancing with other people. We start each class with a very communal Qigong practice, which Peter does an excellent job of really making it feel like we're all in the space together.
We would always do this little improvisation towards the camera, and just doing that together and warming up together just made us feel like we were actually touching each other in an actual dance studio.
For a lot of their classes, they're sitting in the chair in front of the computer, so we get up, we move our furniture around, we dance in the class.
They started becoming musicians because they needed to respect if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 1, 2, 3. Even if this person is a 2 and this person is 4, that counts as there.
For me, there's a beautiful side to having the time and to work with a professional filmmaker and learn another craft. So I've also been just very excited about that process and seeing the dancers kind of develop that skill for themselves.
What I've been kind of doing is putting my phone on the tripod and then like using this little clicker to have it start recording, and then kind of dance around this space, have to check on it, see if everything was in the frame. There are some shots that are in my kitchen, on my couch, in my bedroom. Yeah.
That's what's been inspiring as an educator, especially, to see that we are really forever evolving and learning and expanding.
This has offered us a platform to think outside of our boxes and create virtual experiences to get larger audiences globally. I mean, the arts organizations are visionaries. We don't create problems, we create solutions. And I find that quite inspiring.
The Lewis Center was tremendous in the support of this work from the very beginning of my conversation, because they basically were like, tell us what you need to make this vision happen.
It seemed like the dance department was trying their best to, offer this new experience for us that would still be meaningful in the virtual space. And I think that gave me like some hope for the semester. It also shows like how much they care about us, even if we are so far away.
I think right now everyone is craving community because we're so distant. And I have found most of my interactions online have been so deep. These conversations that we're having now are really just human beings coming together looking for answers and for solace and for support and for humanity.
I do miss the stage. I miss the stage so much, but this is just a time to kind of connect our roots and connect our community and just love one another.
I pushed myself into the moment, I adapted myself, and now I see that there's a possibility to do some great things. We still miss that in-person sweating and happiness and the energy, the personal energy. But if we have to do it again, I want to say no, we can do it.